What's up, boys? Road to Lamborghini episode 37. We are back. We got the drip. You already know we got the drip because that's who we are. We drippy people. So, back in the grind. Yesterday we made a video. Today we making a video. It's a daily type thing. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I need to, or not only thing, but the main thing I want to focus on right now is fixing my sleep schedule, which I still need to fix. Got to be like 2:30 last night. So, let's get into the video. Today, it's more of a reflection and more just how life's a blessing and how you have to stay true to yourself, trust your gut, and enjoy every season of life, right? One of my mentors says, every season has a reason, okay? If you're going through something hard right now, it's for a reason. If you're going through something easy right now, it's not always going to be easy. Like, you should never, when you're going through times where you feel like everything's pretty good and nothing like bad has happened, you should always really be grateful, because the only thing that's guaranteed is that something bad is going to happen either to you or a family member or a loved one, or just stuff is just not going to always be perfect, right? And that's expected. So, like, enjoy life and always stay true to yourself. If you're always true to yourself and you always back yourself, like I saw a meme, right? It was like, stay goated, or the only person, the only person I lost and needed back was myself, right? That sort of stuff. I'm not saying you can't have loved ones, you can't have people you love and you want to spend time with and stuff like that. But truly, you have to be true to yourself, because you've only really got yourself in this world, right? You got yourself and you got God. That's it, you know? And then obviously, like, I'd say like your mom and stuff. But even they're not going to be around forever, you know? So you've got to stay true to yourself and like really stick with your routine. I heard a quote. I can't remember if it's from a philosopher or if it's like a YouTuber or whoever it was. I can't remember. But it said, what was it? Without routine, man will crumble. Without routine, man will crumble. Okay, you need routine as a man. Like, you need structure as a man. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very difficult to ever achieve anything in life. And you're just going to feel very empty. Whenever in my life, I feel like life just hasn't been like how I wanted it to be. It was either I wasn't creating memories and having fun, and I also wasn't working very hard, right? It was in the middle, where I was like maybe doing one cool thing a week, and then I was traveling-ish, but not really. But then I also wasn't working much because I thought, well, I'm traveling. You know, that's the part where I didn't enjoy it. Whereas the times where I traveled one day and the next day I was working 10 hours a day, or I went on 8 hours of calls or whatever, those are the best times, right? And then the next day I go out and I spend 2 days with my girlfriend and we have a bunch of fun. Those are amazing times, right? Or fiance, right? Whereas the times where it's just in the middle, my mentor says no man's land is what he calls it, right? You don't want to be caught in no man's land. You either want to be having a bunch of fun. And when I say fun, I'm not talking about degenerate stuff. I'm not saying parties, drinking, all that stupid stuff, because that's not actually fun. That's very temporary fun. It's not actually fun. It's not actually fulfilling. But having fun, like traveling, spending time with loved ones, all of this sort of stuff. Or you want to be working extremely hard and setting yourself up, right? The grind stage. You don't want to be in the middle. You don't want to be caught like in no man's land where you're just not doing either of them, but you're kind of wishy-washy. Because then guess what? You're not going to become successful. And you're also not going to have a bunch of memories. Right, the coolest guys are either the ones who become extremely rich, who like, you can tell they just work their ass off. They were working like 15-hour days for like 10 years straight, and now they're like multi-billionaires or something, right? Or it's the guys who had a bunch of memories, went to like 50 countries, have like the craziest stories, you know? And the good thing is you can have a mix of both. Like, that's who I'm becoming, right? A mix of both, where yes, I can say like I worked extremely hard and I have a lot of material stuff and I can have that sort of stuff. But I can also say I've also had a bunch of, as for an 18-year-old, the amount of stories I could tell is, I probably wouldn't say them on YouTube because they get taken down. But there's a lot of stuff that's happened, right, which is pretty chaotic. A lot of like events, or whatever you want to call them, like just stuff happening, which doesn't usually happen in a random 18-year-old's life. But like, that's fun, right? That experience is fun. You know, like, for example, even just, this isn't really a story, but even just me going on over 30 flights this year at literally 17, and then obviously now I'm 18, but July I turned 18. So 17 and 18 years old, being able to take over 30 flights in 1 year, right? It's pretty nuts. Like, I don't know many 18-year-olds that do that without daddy's money or whatever. But anyway, my point is, like, stay true to yourself, work your ass off, stay on routine, stay disciplined, and stay locked in, bro. Like, you're not going to feel, if right now you're not feeling very high energy, you're not feeling very fulfilled, I guarantee it's because you're not doing one of those two I mentioned, right? You're kind of caught in the middle. You're kind of just watching TikTok, watching Instagram. Maybe you're going to the gym sometimes. You're working your business a little bit, but not really. That's not fun, bro. You need to either put your foot full on the gas and actually give it all you've got. Go out, make a bunch of money, set your family up for the future, live an amazing life, create sick memories. Or you want to, like I mentioned, create sick memories, travel loads, spend a bunch of time with your loved ones, get close to God. Like, for example, right, literally for me, If I wasn't going to focus on a business and I knew I wasn't going to focus on a business for like 6 months or something, right? And let's say I just maintained the clients I had, right? And I wasn't focused on scaling at all. So I need to work, let's say only 3, 4, 5 hours a day, whatever. Let's say 4 hours a day. Now I got another 12 hours in a day. I might go to Tibetan mountains and become a monk or something, right? And just be one of those, like be a monk and low key, have a little laptop in the background, be finishing client work in the evening or whatever, right? That's what I'd be doing. You know, I wouldn't want to be caught in the middle where I'm like working 4 hours a day, but I'm also just living with my parents and I'm living in England and I'm not really enjoying life. And that's just dead, bro. You want to be doing one thing or the other. You know, you want to be taking life. They say by the balls, but that's a weird expression. You want to be taking life, right? Pick it up and be like, this is what I want out of you. Boom. Right? You know, actually prove to life that's what you want through your action. Right? You have to work hard, bro. As a guy, you have to work hard. There is no enjoyment as a man if you don't work hard. I'm not even joking. I can't think of a single man who's happy who didn't work hard or isn't working hard right now. Right? There has to be a period of your life where you just lock in. Otherwise, you're never going to become successful. Every successful person has that period of a life where they're so locked in. I'm not saying they don't lock in after that, but there's a period where they're like really locked in. Usually it's like a 1, 2, 3, up to 5 year period, sometimes up to 10 years if they're billionaires. But usually if it's millionaires, it's like a 1, 2 year period or 1, 2, 3 year period where they're really locked in, where they're like literally working 10 hours, 12 hours a day for like pretty much 360 days of the year, right? And maybe they have 5 days where they kind of chill. Right, that's how locked in you have to be, and that's how you're going to be able to compound the momentum and get to that period of, get to that point of your life where you're able to spend, you know, time with loved ones without having to worry, right? Where you're able to make a bunch of money, where you're able to give the people around you the best life. Like that's your goal as a man, bro. You need to be serving other people, right? You need to be serving other people. Like today, I'm so blessed. I get to. Literally, because I've got myself in this position, I get to make money online. So I did a bit of work this morning. I'm going to do some work this evening as well. But that's why I have to finish this. I have to finish this video in like 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I'm going to go. I got the car. I'm getting dropped off at train station. And then I'm getting a train to London, right? And I'm going to London to spend a time with my fiance. Right? I was going to say her name, but you guys don't need to know her name. But like, I'm going to spend time with my fiance, right? And we're going to have the best time ever. And then tomorrow we're going to Fort Park. Right, so that's going to be hella fun. But, like, that is such a blessing, bro. Like, literally, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have even had money for the tickets. For not even Fort Park. For not even a flipping train. I wouldn't have had money for a bumperclack train. Right, and now I'm able to literally not have to worry about money, like, basically at all. Apart from if it's, like, absolutely huge purchases. You know? Like, it really is a blessing. Even those absolutely huge purchases aren't going to be huge purchases soon as long as I keep on staying locked in. Right, so... yeah, enjoy your life, go out there, work your ass off and serve others, bro. That's what's going to bring you fulfillment. What's going to bring you fulfillment? Giving your mum a check for $10,000, right? And being like, here you go, you don't have to work for the next couple months and you don't have to work forever, but this is just to cover the next couple months, right? But being like, fulfillment is going to come from you being able to go and tell your fiance or tell your girlfriend or tell your wife, babe, make sure you're packed. Tomorrow we're going to Disneyland in Paris. Or I don't even know if there is a Disneyland, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like that's spontaneous or that just fun. That like serving others is what's going to bring true fulfillment, right? And that's not going to come from just like, that's not going to come from, you know, not working hard. You have to work hard. I've already said this so many times, but you have to work hard and you have to have a routine as well. If you don't have a routine, it's very difficult to get anywhere in life because what's going to happen, and when I say routine, I'm not saying you have to be time blocked to the point where you've got every minute of your day on the calendar. Like that is how Elon Musk does it, for example, to be so successful. But I'm not saying you have to do it to that point, but you definitely have to have a routine and daily tasks. Right, my mentor says, write down a list of tasks in the morning and a day before and don't go to sleep until they're done. That's the secret to momentum. That's the secret to becoming a millionaire. And it's completely true. It's what he did. Now he's got 6 supercars and making over $5 million a month. He's 25 years old. He's living in Dubai, living a crazy lifestyle. And he literally grew up like an hour away from where I live in a pretty poor area, right? So like, that's how you get there, right? You've got to look at other people. This is another thing I was saying. By the way, this video is more just random topics. It's not about one specific thing. You've got to look at other people and think, what do they have different to me? Like someone who's a millionaire, someone who's able to spend 10K in a day on shopping or something. What did they do different to me? Because they're not different to me naturally. They're probably not even smarter, or they're very similar in intelligence. They're very similar in a lot of things. So what did they do different to me? Right? And the answer to that question is they worked harder. They put in more hours, right? They were dedicated. They didn't give up. They didn't like, I heard Jeff Bezos say this. The poor stay poor because they think every opportunity is a scam. How are you going to become rich if you believe that making money online isn't even possible? How are you going to make money online if you don't believe it's even possible? You know, it's like, it's dumb, right? How are you going to make money with a clothing brand if you don't believe you can make money with a clothing brand? Like, what? How are you going to get rich if you believe that only the people who are brought in wealth can get rich? Like, I mean, clearly it's not true, but you just have a skewed mentality, right? And that's what's going to hold you back so much. Like, they say we suffer more in our imagination than in our reality. If you just went out and you actually put in the work, you'd see the results. You're just suffering more in your imagination, thinking it's not possible. So then you don't put in the action to get the results, and then you stay in this loop of it's not possible, it's not possible, it's not possible. Or you put in so little work that you're not going to get any results, and you're only putting in a little work to prove that it's not possible, because you know that you're putting in so little work that it's not going to work. You're like, well, I'm going to try for a month, and then if I don't make any money, then it's not going to work, and it's not a real business model. Oh, really? You think you're going to become a millionaire in a month? Like, are you dumb? It took me like 2.5 months of fitness coaching to get my first client, right? And that was after doing stuff every single day. Now I can get clients at random. Like, I could do an hour's work and get a client today, right? Or less than an hour's work, to be honest. But like, that comes with the skills, that comes with the knowledge, that comes over time, that comes with a personal brand, that comes with being in a position of authority in that niche. Like, people know me, and people know me in the space of like online coaching and stuff as probably like either the best guy or one of the top guys. Why? Because we've got insane testimonials. If you go on my Instagram, click the link in the description, you go into my testimonials, we've got over like 100 testimonials, or over, let's say, 80, 90 testimonials, I don't know the exact amount. Over 80, 90 testimonials, over like 20 video testimonials. Right? There's been clients who bought their dream cars. There've been clients who retired their parents. There've been clients who've moved out. There was one client who moved from Canada in a broke place all the way to Miami, right? And now he's driving like a red Corvette. Like, there's a bunch of clients who are absolutely crushing it. And there's not a single client who's ever said anything bad about me, right? What does that prove? Well, it proves that we get insane results. But by the way, I'm not here to pitch you anything. I'm just here to say, like, that's why I'm able to do that now, where I can put in an hour's work and get a client, because I'm in such a position of authority, because I've built that over time. Right? People know me as the guy to actually go to who's legit, whereas there's a bunch of guys who aren't legit that I know in this sort of space, right? But anyway, that's pretty much it for today, boys. Work your ass off. Everything is a system. Don't think of life as like, oh, I want to achieve this goal, maybe it's going to happen. No. I want to achieve this goal. I'm not going to give up until this goal happens. So that's the first step, right? Second step is now you need to build out a plan and build out a game plan and follow it, and then just adjust it, right? I say it, AAA. I tell all my clients this: action, analyze, adapt. Action, analyze, adapt. Okay, you have to put in a bunch of action, so that then you got action to analyze, and then from the analysis you adapt. Very simple. Action, analyze, adapt. That's how you become successful. It's the same with like when I did dropshipping, I didn't make a bunch of money because I didn't enjoy it, right? And I didn't think it was good long term, and I thought it was very saturated, especially the niche I was doing it in. But like, I always did the action, analyze, adapt, right? I'd do a bunch of action, I'd test a bunch of products, I'd find some that work, I'd analyze them, and then I'd adapt them, and I'd cut out the ones which weren't working and stop the ads on the products that weren't working, right? Very, very simple. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today, boys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And we'll be back tomorrow, because guess what? Daily uploads are here. So have a blessed day. I'm going to have an amazing day. Every day is a blessed day because God woke you up. So enjoy today. Be grateful. Spend time with loved ones. Go out there, work your ass off so that you can serve others, which is what you're called to do as a man of Christ. With that said, that's the end of this video. Link in the description for my Instagram. See you boys tomorrow.